The house was silent, too silent. Not even the usual creak of wood or the whistle of night wind slipped through the darkness. You lay in bed, half dreaming, wrapped under the blanket when a sound broke through that silence. A sharp, piercing cry, your eyebrows knitted through as your body stirred restlessly. At first you thought you were dreaming, but then it came again, a baby's cry, thin, trembling, desperate, echoing as if it was being carried down a long tunnel. Your eyes shot open, confusion tightening in your chest. You weren't supposed to hear that. You lived with your husband, but you don't have a baby. There has never been a baby here, and yet the sound was so real, so close. You pushed yourself up to sit, blinking against the darkness of your room. Who's there? You whispered to yourself. Your throat was dry. The only answer was the cry again, louder this time, tugging at you like invisible hands. You swallowed hard, swinging your legs off the bed, your bare feet brushing against the cold floorboards. The chill ran up your spine, but the sound kept pulling you forward. The hallway outside your room was pitch black. Shadows stretched along the walls, long and distorted, shifting with every flicker of the dim light leaking from the moon outside. You took cautious steps, each one causing the old wooden floor to creak beneath your weight. "Hello, is someone here?" You asked again. Your voice was trembling. Silence. Then the cry again, farther this time, yet clearer, as if calling you by instinct. You followed it. Your breath grew heavier, heart thudding against your ribs. The deeper you went into the hallway, the heavier the air felt pressing down on your chest like invisible weight. By the time you reached the living room, you were already trembling, and then you froze. There, near the fireplace, was a cradle, an old wooden cradle that rocked ever so slightly even though the air was still. You couldn't breathe. You hadn't seen the cradle before. You didn't own one, and yet there it was, sitting like it has always belonged there. The cries were coming from inside it. Your body stiffened. You forced yourself forward one shaky step at a time. A baby? But how? You murmured, barely audible. The closer you got, the louder the cries became. They pierced into your ears, sharp enough to make your temples throb. You hesitated, your hands hovering over above the edge of the cradle as your whole body begged you to stop. But something in you needed to know, needed to see. You slowly leaned forward and looked inside. The breath caught in your throat. It wasn't a baby, not a human one. Its skin was grey, mottled with veins that pulsed unnaturally beneath its surface. Its eyes were two endless words of black, staring directly into yours. Its tiny mouth twisted into a snarl as razor sharp teeth poked out from behind trembling lips. You gasped, covering your mouth. You stepped back. Oh my god. Your pulse skyrocketed. Your hands trembled violently as you stumbled back from the cradle, and then, without warning, flames erupted. The cradle burst into fire, the wood snapping and crackling as flames devoured it. The demonic infant inside wailed louder, its cries twisting into inhuman screeches. It was so loud, so unbearable, that you clutched your ears, tears foaming at the corners of your eyes. But then something worse began. The cries wrapped into voices. Human voices, voices overlapping, faint but growing stronger. "Why did you do this? Your fault. Why did you kill me? You left me there dying. What was my fault?" Your entire body went numb. You shook your head violently, stepping back, pressing your hands against your ears as the whispers circled you. "No, I didn't. I didn't do anything. Stop it. Stop," you said, shouting, your voice cracking miserably. But the voices only grew louder, angrier, voices screaming together. Why did you do this? You couldn't take it anymore. Panic took over and you turned and ran. You bolted towards the stairs, breath ragged, your chest heaving as the sound of whispers followed you, wrapping around you like smoke. Your feet pounded against the wooden steps as you scrambled upward. Please leave me alone. I didn't do anything. Please, you said, sobbing and pleading. Halfway up, your trembling hands clung to the railing as your legs fought to climb faster. But then you froze. Something was wrong. Cold, wet, rough. You felt it. Fingers tightening around your ankle. Slowly, trembling, you dared to look down. From beneath the staircase, a hand was gripping you. Not a normal hand. It was blackened, its flesh torn and peeling. Claws sharper than knives digging into your skin. The sight sent pure terror coursing through your veins. Let go of me, you said, screaming and thrashing. The hand yanked harder, nearly pulling you off balance. You clung desperately to the railing, your nails sticking into the wood as you kicked, tears streaming down your face. Somebody help me, please, you said, screaming louder and desperate. But the house gave you no answer. Only the fire crackling below, only the whispers chanting your name. The grip on your ankle grew tighter, claws digging into your skin until you cried out in pain. Then, with a viscous pull, it dragged you down. You clawed at the stairs, your nails scraping across the wood, leaving desperate marks. But no matter how hard you fought, you were dragged into the shadows beneath. The last thing you saw before darkness swallowed you was the burning cradle rocking by the fireplace, its demonic passengers still screaming, and then silence.